Hello, today we are going to be assembling the Ram 870A treadmill. We've already removed the cover. It comes on a pallet. Cover is over here that was on top of this, and you can see how everything is packaged and tie wrapped inside the pallet, onto the pallet, securing everything for transportation. So we're going to start preparing and getting this stuff organized and assembled. At this point, I have taken all the securing straps off. I've removed all the padding, protective padding from shipping or from the handrails. And this is everything that, of course, was in and on top of the treadmill. We have our control panel, our RS-232 cable that's on top of that box, control panel. You've got 3 manuals. You've got the treadmill console manual, a user's manual, and of course the declaration, which includes a USB stick, which has a program in there for service procedures to verify the performance of the treadmill. Here is the large rail that's going to go on first, and you are going to need some assistance to help you position this on there or hold it while you make the connections. At the ends of these rails there are cables that it's already pre-wired through the rails, but you have to make those connections, those interface connections at these points here where you see the connectors, and there's one on the other side, a single connector on the left side, that have to be connected to these rails. That will be the first thing to go on. And again, you're going to need some assistance to do this portion of the installation. Not only this portion of the installation, but it will take 2, if not preferably 3 people to remove this treadmill from the pallet and to put in its final destination and location. Once it's there, you can then also adjust the feet at the rear and at the front to make sure that the treadmill is level and not is secure and level and not tipping or rocking or unstable on the surface that it's in. So at this point, here are the other 2 handrails and the power cable. Next, we are going to put this main handrail on and make those electrical interface connections for that. So I've grabbed some assistance here to help me with the installation of this rail. But first, what we have to do on both of these connection points, as you can see, there is a screw there, and that is going to be a set screw to secure that rail to the treadmill. And there is one on the other side as well, right here. What we're first going to do is remove both of these screws so the rail slides all the way down once we make the electrical connection. Alright, we have some assistance here. We're going to install the initial rail. So we have it positioned over the treadmill in the location that it's going to go to. We're going to make our electrical connections. On this side I have the 1 Molex connector. That's connected. The second connection on this side is our USB to run the display that will be going on later. Alright, my connections are there.
My one connection over here is
the
good.
One connection on that side is good, so we are going to slowly position this over the top. And there we go. Slides right on. It's secure. And we can put our set screws in the rail. And have to push them through the foam slightly. This will put pressure on the arm and keep this thing secure. At this point, we are going to attach the side rails. The first thing I've done is I've taken these caps off, or we have to take both of them off. I've loosened the first one. It is a 3mm hex screw that is in the bottom of this encasement. I've removed that. That allows me to separate this. Be very careful because the emergency stop button is wired to that. We're just going to let it hang. Put this piece down. We have a rail here. And I've also removed the nut from the base, which was in there already. I'm going to take this out, put that on the side, and we are going to slide this onto this rail here and get this in position. Within the declaration of conformity, earlier I showed you have your USB, which has some service tools on there. Also within here are 2 screws and a washer, and we're going to use those to secure this rail. It looks to be quite possibly a 4 or 5. It was a 4. We'll tighten that up. And put back our top portion of the rail. And that will take care of the right side top portion. And then I'm going to thread that bolt up through the plate into the bottom side of the side rail, and that will complete the right side of the treadmill, and the same will have to be done on the left side. At this point we're going to attach the display. I've already taken the liberty of removing from this display. There is a plate on the back, like so, and I've removed the 4 screws. They're in my hand. I'm going to carefully set this down, and we're going to use the plate and mount this on the treadmill. There is a nut on the side that I will unscrew, and you can see by the plate that the screw is going to pass through this nut, but there are little ledges on here so it slides on, and then we use this nut to secure this mounting plate. Then we're able to bring our display over and attach the display to the mounting plate that I earlier removed. You could probably do this both ways by just keeping these screws in here and mounting it all on at once. There's 2 mounting locations on here. Make sure you get the right ones, which I didn't initially. And I'm just going to do the top 2 for right now and finish up on my own with the other 2. time purposes. And now that is mounted. Alright, the last thing I've done here is I've taken a 5mm hex wrench. I loosened this and then brought the monitor up more to a position so you can look down at it and see the performance of the treadmill, make adjustments, manually control it, see what it's doing. And then I locked the 5mm screw into place so the monitor stays stable. The last thing we have to do is make our power connection here to the base of the monitor and the USB connection as well, also to the base of the monitor. Now we are fully set. We can take our power cable down there, connect it to the wall, our serial RS-232 cable, which is in the front of the system, connect it there, connect that to your device that's controlling the treadmill, and you should be operational.